The wind howled across the dry plains of Red Hollow Ranch, carrying dust and old memories with it. Ethan Cole stood alone near the wooden fence, staring into the endless horizon. The ranch was quiet, too quiet. It had been that way ever since she disappeared. 5 years. 5 long, unforgiving years. Everyone in town believed she was dead. Even Ethan had tried to believe it. But some nights, when the moon was low and the silence grew heavy, he swore he could still hear her voice, soft, fragile, calling his name. The night everything changed. It was just past sunset when Ethan heard the sound. A horse, slow, tired, dragging its steps along the dirt road leading to his ranch. Ethan frowned. Nobody came this far out unless they were lost or desperate. He stepped forward, hand resting lightly near his holster, not out of fear but habit. As the figure approached, the fading light revealed a woman sitting weakly on the horse. Her head was lowered, her body barely upright. Ethan's chest tightened. Something about her felt familiar. He moved closer. "Hey," he called out. "You all right?" The horse stopped. The woman didn't respond. For a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. Then, she slowly lifted her head, and their eyes met. The whisper that froze time. Ethan's heart stopped. His fingers went numb. It couldn't be. It wasn't possible. Her face, older, thinner, marked by hardship, but unmistakable. The same eyes. The same presence. The same woman he had buried in his heart years ago. His wife, Lily. Before he could speak, her lips trembled, and in a faint, broken whisper she said, "Do you remember me?" A ghost from the past. Ethan staggered back a step, as if reality itself had struck him. "Lily?" His voice cracked. But she didn't smile, didn't run into his arms. Instead, she swayed and collapsed. Ethan rushed forward, catching her before she hit the ground. Her body was cold, too cold. "Lily, stay with me," he shouted, panic flooding his veins. But she was unconscious. And for the first time in 5 years, Ethan Cole was truly afraid. The woman he lost. That night, as Lily lay unconscious in his bed, Ethan sat beside her, unable to look away. Memories came flooding back. They had met in the most unexpected way. She had arrived in town as a quiet, mysterious outsider, someone people whispered about but never truly understood. But Ethan had seen something different in her. Strength, kindness, a fire hidden beneath silence. They fell in love quickly, married even faster. And for a short time, life had been perfect. Until the night she vanished. The night she disappeared. There had been a storm. A violent one. Lily had gone into town that evening and never returned. Her horse was found near the river, broken, abandoned, and the current had been strong enough to take anyone away. They searched for days, weeks, but no body was ever found. Eventually, people stopped looking, and Ethan was left with nothing but memories and a silence that never faded. Back from the dead. Near midnight, Lily finally stirred. Ethan leaned forward instantly. "Lily," he whispered. Her eyes slowly opened, confused, distant. She looked at him like a stranger trying to remember a dream. "You're alive," Ethan said, disbelief still heavy in his voice. She studied his face carefully, as if searching for something. Or someone. Then she asked quietly, "Who are you?" A heartbreaking truth. The words hit harder than any bullet. Ethan froze. "It's me." "Ethan," he said gently. "Your husband." Lily's expression didn't change. No recognition. No emotion. Just emptiness. "I don't remember," she whispered. Pieces of a broken past. Over the next few days, the truth slowly unfolded. Lily had survived. Barely. She had been found miles away by a group of travelers, injured, unconscious, with no memory of who she was. They had taken her in, given her a new name, a new life. But her past had been erased. Until recently, fragments of memory had started returning. Dreams, voices, a face she couldn't fully remember, and one word that kept echoing in her mind. "Ethan." So she followed it. Across towns, across miles, until she found herself back, where it all began. Love without memory. Ethan tried to be patient. He didn't push her, didn't force her to remember. Instead, he showed her, little by little. He took her to the fields where they used to walk together, to the tree where he had carved their initials, to the porch where they had spent countless evenings watching the sunset. Sometimes she would smile faintly, as if something inside her recognized the moments, even if her mind didn't. But it wasn't enough. Not yet. The truth he never told. One evening, as they sat in silence, Lily turned to him. "Why do I feel like something is missing?" she asked. Ethan hesitated. There was something he had kept hidden. Something painful. Something he had never forgiven himself for. The night Lily disappeared. They had argued. It was small, meaningless, but harsh words had been spoken, and she had left in anger. Alone. Into the storm. Ethan looked down. "I should have gone after you," he said quietly. "I should have stopped you." Lily watched him carefully, and for the first time, her eyes softened. The moment everything returned, days passed. Then one night, a storm rolled in again. Thunder, lightning, rain crashing against the roof. Lily stood near the window, watching the storm with a strange expression. Her breathing grew uneven. Her hands trembled. Ethan noticed immediately. "Lily?" he said, stepping closer. She turned to him suddenly, fear in her eyes. "It was raining," she whispered. Ethan's heart skipped. "What?" "That night. It was raining," she said, her voice shaking. Images flashed in her mind. The river, the fall, the pain, and then Ethan's face. Clear, vivid, unforgettable. Tears filled her eyes. "I remember," she whispered. "Ethan." She looked at him fully now, not as a stranger, but as the man she had loved, the man she had lost, the man she had found again. "Ethan," she said, her voice breaking. And in that moment, everything changed. Ethan stepped forward slowly, afraid this might vanish like a dream. "Lily?" he whispered. She didn't hesitate this time. She ran into his arms, holding him tightly, as if letting go would mean losing him all over again. A second chance. The storm outside raged on, but inside, everything was finally still. Ethan held her close, his voice barely a whisper. "I thought I lost you forever." Lily closed her eyes. "You almost did," she said softly. "But something kept bringing me back, the whisper that meant everything." Later that night, as they sat together under the fading storm, Lily leaned against him. She smiled gently and whispered again, "Do you remember me?" Ethan looked at her, a small smile forming. "Every single day," he replied. "Ending. Some stories don't end when people disappear. Some love doesn't fade, even when memory does. And sometimes, even after being lost to time, pain, and distance, the heart finds its way back home."